welcome back to another episode of That 20s Show with me, Kianu Azman. If you guys are new with this podcast, this is where I will talk about different things that 20-year-olds will face in their lives. Because let's face it, while people are telling us, oh my God, being young rocks, that's the best years you can ever have in your life. But it can also be the most painful decade we'll ever have. I mean, at least that's what I feel now as a 20-year-old. And I have a very famous parody maker. He's also a TV host. He's also an actor. And I did read he's a model somewhere. So I don't know if he's still doing that or he just left it to someone else to be a model and he's just doing all his parodies. It's the one and only Odea, everybody.
Can I just say that was the best intro ever, apart from the modeling thing, right? Because first of all, you said a 20-year-old. I'm not 20. I'm 20. I'm
You're
28. But I'm feeling like, I'm really young today. So you've made me feel so good. Because a lot of people think, because the Angmors and Matsalés, we always look older than you guys. So you have made me feel very young today. Thank you so much.
Okay, Mark. So to make you feel even better, my mom, in all honesty, I actually thought he's not in his 20s until I Googled up his age yesterday. I was like, I don't think so. I think Mark is in his 30s. My mother...
Excuse me?
I'm sorry. I'm just...
You want me to stop this podcast right now?
He's going to cancel it. He's going to leave. Crap. My mom said that she was like, Mark is not above 30. Then I'm like, I think he's in his early 30s. And he's like, I don't think so. He doesn't look like he's above 30. And I checked. I was like, oh, Mom, you were right. Sorry, Mark. I just know. It's a Mat Saleh thing. Remember what you were saying? The Mat Saleh thing. Normally you all look older than you really are.
If only I had the Asian genes. If only. Oh, man.
Well, it's going to be a totally different thing then. If like this, I'm 23, but people always think I'm even underage. If I want to go to a club, they'll be like, can we get an ID, please? Bruh, I'm 23, guys. I'm 23. This is the difference of being Asian and a Mat Saleh. But the thing about Mark and I is that Mark is in his late 20s. I'm in my early 20s. So basically, you might feel like, oh, just being in your 20s, regardless of 20 what, it's always the same. But Mark, do you think that being in your early 20s was harder or easier than it is in your late 20s?
I am one of these people, and this is going to sound really stereotypical, and everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, heard it before. But I honestly think age is like just a number. Because honestly speaking, I know some people who are 21 who are married, and they act like they're 30 or 40, and they try and be really serious. I've got some friends who are in their late 30s, and they go to all these raves, they don't want to get married.
Yeah.
So I really think it's the way you've been brought up, who you surround yourself by, is your real age. I think this. I honestly think. I know everyone says it, but age really is just a number. Because honestly speaking, like nowadays, I feel more alive than I did when I was like 21, 22. Just because.
Are you serious?
Because when I was 21, 22, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was still a bit like, oh man, like. I need to plan my life out. And now I'm 27, 28.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like I have planned it out because I've got older. So it's actually less pressure. Whereas when you're younger, that's when it's like, oh crap, these are the years where I've got to make decisions. When you're in college, when you're like 21, 22, I believe in Malaysia, that is when you're like, okay, am I going to be an accountant? Am I going to be this? Am I going to do this? So honestly speaking, I think I because there's less pressure now, I actually feel younger, to be honest. Yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised. I thought you were going to say like, oh, the amount of problems that I have now, the amount of decisions I got to make as a 28-year-old, but quite the contrary, huh?
Yeah, I think like, as well as being like a creator or something, you've got to adapt. So obviously like the content I was doing when I was 21, 20, I can't do now because I'm an old man. Contrary to you said I was 20 years old earlier, but like you have to adapt. So like, obviously as times have changed and as I've got older and my hair's gone more grey, I've got to change the things I do, but it's still working okay. So people aren't bored of me yet. So I've got a few more years left, I think, before I have to retire.
Mark can pass as a 19-year-old frat boy in any of the videos. If you are casted in like some fraternity and sorority film, you'd pass as that dude that has like 10 girlfriends and all that. Yeah, even though he's 28, he can pass as someone 10 years younger than him.
10 girlfriends? Find me one first, please.
Mark, you gotta be kidding me, dude. With whatever you're doing, with how you look, you must have girls lining up for you, right? In your DMs especially.
I don't. That's the thing. Like everyone always says that, but I actually don't. Yeah.
Have you dated a
I don't
Malaysian
know.
before?
Maybe I don't look approachable or whatever. I don't know. Maybe people think I don't know. But you'd be surprised.
Yeah, dude. I'm actually speechless because I thought it's Mark OD. You and the ladies is
The
like
only person that slides into my DMs is you, asking to do podcasts and videos and stuff. That's the only action I'm getting.
No wonder he's very responsive about that, because I guess I was the only one. He was waiting for girls, and he was like, well, this one I'll just take for whatever I can get. And one thing I got to say about you is that every time I watch your parody videos or your interviews you're hosting, you look like that happy-go-lucky dude that has no issues. And I tend to be like, oh my God, it's some days it's hard for even me to hide my problems when I'm hosting or, doing my job as a radio announcer. But you can pull it off regardless of what video. It's like, yeah, some nasi lemak and your other songs, because
is that what I do?
better version than that. This one is the what do you call it, rip-off version. That's it.
I think that's because I enjoy what I do. I think it's because I've picked a career and a job that I really love doing.
Right.
So the reason why I look happy is because I am happy, I suppose. Like I think like when I make all these parodies and stuff, everyone always says like, oh, it must take so much time. Like, why do you stress yourself out?
Yeah.
Like, yes, I do stress myself out. Yes, I do want to make it perfect and stuff. But as soon as I film a parody, even if I finish shooting at like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. and it's a whole day shoot, I want to edit straight away because I'm so excited. I'm like, oh, I want to see all the shots.
I feel you.
I want to see all the dance moves. I want to see what, and I can't stop. I'll just edit. I'll be up sometimes till like 6 a.m. because I'm on a roll. Like I cannot stop. And you say like, oh, you look happy. It's probably because I am genuinely really love what I do. So that's maybe why it shows on camera. Yeah.
But were there any instances where you were shooting your parody or whatsoever and you were feeling like, oh man, like, I don't know, I just don't feel it today. Maybe there was a relationship problem, there was issues at work elsewhere or whatsoever. Have you ever encountered that before, Mark?
The biggest problems I've had is maybe people not turning up on time, and obviously Malaysian weather. The rain is the biggest. Oh my God!
I need Mark Odie's live right now, man. That's his biggest issues. That's his biggest issues. Well, all of us here are like, oh, love problems. Oh no, I didn't get paid for my last event yet. Oh no, all sorts of issues, and he has weather issues. That's it, guys.
Well, I don't believe in the bomber, so I cannot call him to give me no rain.
Stop the rain.
That's the biggest problem, because the problem is when I use people for my parodies, like most of the parodies I do, I've had a few client ones, but most of them are just my ideas that I want to do, make a fun video, and obviously because it's not a paid job, I'm just getting like friends.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask them to wake up at 8 a.m. when I want to shoot at 8 or 9 a.m. You know how it is. You know how it is. People don't want to wake up. It's like, oh, can we make it 1 p.m.? And that's when it rains from like that time. So that's my biggest fear, honestly. But I've had location issues before. But if I've had any problems or anything, I usually wouldn't shoot because I wouldn't be in the right frame of mind. I will only normally shoot if I'm good to go. If something bad's happened, I probably wouldn't want to shoot unless I really had to. Yeah.
Right, and I totally understand you when you said about getting your friends involved, and you kind of need to accommodate to their timing as well, because it's not like a paid thing. But how supportive are your friends when it comes to your work?
So I actually don't like to get my close friends in my parodies, literally because when I do my parodies, I feel like I'm really bossy. Like I've been told I'm really bossy because I want to get it done.
Yeah.
Like when it's your video, I don't really have time for like I mean, it's fun to shoot and stuff, but my main concern is getting it done, getting it shot, and then afterwards, when it's a wrap, we can have some drinks, we can chill. I'll lunge at everyone that can, like nice, fantastic. But I just want to get it done, and like people. When my friends do it, because we're friends, they'll crack jokes. And I'm not really in that kind of. I sound like an absolute douchebag to work for now, but like, I prefer using people that I'm not close to, just so I can not boss around, but just be a bit more stricter.
Yeah,
Because
and I
it's
think
hard telling your friend, you know.
they would also technically respect you even more because it's work, so they feel like, oh shit, like we're not that tight as compared to you and your other close friends. So yeah, let's
Yeah.
just get it over and done with. That's me and my friends when I do my short
Yeah.
dramas. I like to do random stuff like, hey guys, I've got this idea to do like some short film or a short drama, and I'll get them involved, which they're super fun to work with. But at the same time, like you said, it can drag time because they'll
Yeah.
be laughing and more bloopers are there. Bloopers are great if it's not planned, but when it's just like every 2 seconds, I'm like, guys. But at the same time, I'd feel guilty to do that because technically y'all didn't want to. I was the one who said, guys, I have this idea and I can only materialize it if I have y'all involved. So
And I bet as well, you feel bad about keeping them for longer for your friends that aren't like non-creators because they don't understand like how long it takes. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like for my friends, they're like, we want to act in your next drama, and I was like, I'm glad that they do, but I also know how it's like working with them. So I'm like, yeah, guys, I would love to. So like, I would have to like sometimes really categorize like, okay, this one is like mine. It's completely a playful project. If I want to do serious ones, I really can't take my friends. So I totally get you. And no disrespect to our friends, we love them, but at the same time, I feel like
I agree.
even if it's something that's not like it's not work by clients or whatsoever, but to us, if it's work, it's still work, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, I feel like we're both old men talking, like giving lectures to younger kids out there. You hear us, kids, huh? These are two older brothers giving you lectures here. But okay, what is a way you can describe? I wouldn't say describe, but maybe what was the biggest issue that you had to battle in your 20s up to your point now?
Okay, this is you're probably going to find this really boring because you're probably expecting me to like spill all these bad things, but I'm a very chilled out guy when it comes to problems because I've traveled to a lot of countries. I've been to places like Nepal and India, and I've seen some really bad stuff. So I actually get really annoyed when people moan about their issues. Like I really don't like. Honestly speaking, the worst thing I hate, number one pet peeve of mine, is when someone posts an Insta story and they're trying to get attention because they're posting it on their Insta story. Like I don't know why they're telling the whole world about it. You know, those kind of emo things.
Yeah.
Where it's like, how could you do this? Or da, 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 da. And sometimes it's like the most petty thing. And I'm thinking to myself, there's people like starving in Africa. There's people, who don't have this, or, people moan at me and say like, oh, my mum's shouts at me all day. Da, da, da. And I always try and look on the bright side. I always think like, I always give advice to people. I'll say, well, at least you have a mum. There's some people whose mums passed away when they were younger, or, someone's like, oh, I can't afford this. Oh, da, da, da. Well, at least you have a roof over your head. So I always look on the bright side. So even if something really bad's happened, the biggest advice I would give, what I give to any of my friends is like, stop. I always tell myself, Mark, shut up. You're lucky that you have this, you have that, you have this. Like, don't feel sorry for yourself. It's all right to feel sorry for yourself sometimes, but don't let it drag you down too much because honestly speaking, like I think most of us, especially people who are listening to this, who have access to, communications and stuff, we are blessed in more ways than other people. So I think I always just look on the bright side of life and just kind of,
just go with it.
Annoys sometimes when people make it out as if their life is a big drama and it's really not.